If you've been walking every day or you've had a walking program before and you still have that belly, you just can't lose that belly fat, this video is for you. That fat around the belly, it's not regular fat. Below that is visceral fat, and it's dangerous. It wraps around your organs. But walking can melt it if you tweak just two things. I've dropped almost 100 pounds this way. That is the main method that I used to drop all my weight. And I have several clients that are above 300 pounds that this has worked wonderfully for. So if you're larger, this is gonna work even better for you. No gym, no burpees or crazy workouts, no tracking, just results. I'm gonna show you exactly what to change. Just two tweaks to your walking, you're gonna start melting that visceral fat. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this one drawing a timeline. This is week 1. This is represented as week 4, but really it could be, anything. And this is gonna be week 8. So we got 2.7, that's miles an hour, 3 and 3. These are your treadmill settings. This is the ticket though. 3% incline, 4% incline, 6% incline. And it could go up like this could vary. I'm gonna explain this in a second. So this is the same 30 minutes, but more burn. This could really apply to anything. Sorry for that glare, that's horrible. This could really apply to anything, but since this is a walking video, I'm applying it to the treadmill. But if you increase the intensity, if you use your improved fitness, if you can't see through that glare, 2.7 miles an hour, 3%. And by the end here, and honestly, it'd probably be more than this, it'd be 3 miles an hour and 6%. Imagine by week 8, you're doing 3 miles an hour at 10%. You would be scorching calories in comparison to when you were back here. If this is even slower, let's say you're like, I can't do 3% right now. The effect is gonna be even greater because you are carrying a lot of weight, probably if you're here watching this video, and as your fitness improves, you're doing so much more than your body is used to because you're using your improved fitness. But if you just stay at the same level, you always walk 2.7 miles an hour, at 3% incline for 30 minutes twice a week, let's say that's your program, you're gonna hit a wall eventually, and it's gonna be difficult to overcome that because you're not using anything additional. Of course, it's gotten easier for you, so your body is no longer gonna burn the calories that it once did. So we need to increase your difficulty. So let's break this process down on how you can actually apply it, because I know that just knowing that is cool, but like, how do you do it? Pick a number of days per week, it doesn't matter. I'll pick for you if you need it. 3 days a week. And then pick the time that you're gonna walk. I would start with 20 minutes. For some reason, I just really like that because you can easily build up to 30 minutes from there. I would start, if you're not used to this, at 2.7 speed and 3% incline. If that's a little too hard, you can lower the incline. A lot of people are like, 2.7 is too slow. Okay, fine, then increase it. Again, this just doesn't really matter. You just gotta pick your starting point. Once at 3 miles an hour, every once in a while, you're gonna increase the incline. That could be every 2 weeks. Towards the higher inclines, I find that it does take a little bit longer. As I've gotten more fit, I can pretty easily maintain 9%, 10% incline. Don't feel bad if it's taking you forever to advance in the inclines, that's okay, as long as it's gradually going up over the course of weeks and months. Real quick, if you don't already have it, this is totally free. This is my Craving Survival Map. This is gonna help you stick to your diet. I know this video is about walking, but sticking to your diet is like the big thing. We all know that whenever we quit our diet, we fall off and it starts that spiral. So what this does is it walks you through emotions that you might be feeling outside of actual hunger. You might be feeling tired. And so you go through this checklist, and by the end of the checklist, you do the things on the checklist. You're allowed to indulge in your craving, but in theory, you never will, and you stay on your diet because you feel better at that point. So go ahead and grab that. It's in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, what if you either don't want to do a treadmill or every once in a while you want to go outside? That's what we're gonna talk about next. So we're gonna make outside walks just as powerful. So this point is gonna be about rucking. I've talked about it a lot in my other videos, but I'm gonna give some nuance here. Rucking kind of turns a sidewalk into a Stairmaster. Just walking on the sidewalk is not going to be enough. At first, it might be. That might be a challenge for you, and that's okay. There is no shame in that, okay? You will progress. Everyone starts somewhere, and I promise you can do this. So first, we're gonna talk about rucking, but I wanna mention, if you are heavy, you're kind of already rucking 24/7. So we can add weight to your back still, and we're gonna talk about how to do that. But just know, I don't want you to feel like, dude, I'm so out of shape. If you're carrying 300 pounds or more, it is hard. I have been there. Maybe not, I was just hovering right around 300 pounds. So I might not be as heavy as you are, or at least I wasn't as heavy as you are now, but I can totally sympathize with the fact that going up a flight of stairs, someone who's 170 pounds just has no idea, okay? So just know that this is kind of hard on your body whenever you do it literally every single step. So if by rucking you start to feel some pain, ease into it, please. Don't overshoot this right away. So with rucking, every pound that you carry, we're gonna, in this kind of like analogy, is hidden elevation. It is something that doesn't look like you're elevating, you're walking up a hill, but you are gonna be walking up a hill because you're carrying so much weight. You don't really need hills, you kind of become the hill. So your secret weapon here is gonna be to add a backpack or a weighted vest. Some people prefer one over the other. I would always start with a backpack because you probably just have one around the house or you can get a cheap one or whatever. And then just throw some water bottles in it. And I know that you might think like 5 pounds is like not a lot. And I guess you're right, when you're holding 5 pounds, not a lot, but you add it to your back and you will feel that difference, especially at first. And then if you're like, yeah, I could do this, this doesn't like hurt, then getting a special rucking backpack is the way to go. Because those rucking backpacks, they have really wide straps, they're really padded, so it doesn't like cut into you. And they have certain like straps across the chest and the waist and stuff that can distribute the weight a little bit differently. Whenever I'm rucking, this isn't in my notes, so pardon the riff. Whenever I'm rucking, if it starts to kind of like hurt my mid back, kind of between my shoulder blades a little bit, I just unhook this and it changes to a different spot. If my low back's kind of getting tired, then I rehook it and it kind of changes to a different spot. And then you can do the same thing with the waist. And so it distributes the weight a little bit differently, and it's very helpful. What I would say to make this most effective is to walk the same route, just heavier as you go. So pick a route, pick a distance, and you can always increase that distance. But in general, let's say you build up to 3 miles on your ruck. That would be awesome. From then, it's kind of like the miles per hour thing, and then you start adding incline. From then, I would start just adding weight, because rucking for really long periods of time does start to wear down on the feet, the plantar fascia, things like that. Plus, it'll build some muscle, so that'll be awesome. And the more muscle that you have, the more calorie burn you're gonna have. Think about this. What if every walk burned double the calories? Simply because your body was built to do more and burn more. So here's a bonus tip. There was 2 hacks. There's gonna be a third one here, and that is the muscle multiplier. I'm gonna show you this on FitBuddy. It's gonna build you. You can totally take this if you want, like literally from the screen here, or you can get FitBuddy. It is free in the description. Can you build me a lifting program for just 2 to 3 days per week? I am out of shape and only have a set of dumbbells. Now you can fill in whatever you want here. If you have some equipment at home like I do, if you have a full gym, let FitBuddy know. It will build this for you. It's gonna ask about your injuries, probably. We'll find out, I guess. Usually, it's gonna ask about your injuries because I programmed it to do that. I mean, I'm not a programmer, but this is just ChatGPT, and I made a FitBuddy thing out of it. But it's gonna ask you some questions about your situation. And that's what makes this so cool. It's not just something you pull off online, it's something that actually builds a program for you. Okay, so where you're starting off, that's exactly how real change happens. Before I build the plan, I just need a few quick things from you. So what is your goal? I like how it's asking about the dumbbells. Injuries or limitations is exactly what I was talking about. Preferred split, I love that. And weekly schedule. So I'm gonna zoom through this real quick and I'm gonna show you what it spits out. Okay, so I filled that out. I told that I had bad shoulders, past injuries, and I wanted to point this out. For me, I specifically, we'll see, this is literally, I'm doing this live, but my shoulders have past injuries that bother me if I hold weight overhead like an overhead tricep extension. So I'm curious how it's going to handle that very specific scenario because my shoulders are healthy outside of that. Okay, so it says perfect. Thank you for the details. Here's what we're going to focus on: fat loss, prioritize large compound movements. This is great. So here is the program. I'm going to scroll through it slowly so you could just take it if you wanted to. But also, of course, you can just get FitBuddy. Ooh, it gives weekly progressions as well. Hit the lower rep range, add 1 to 2 reps per set. This is pretty cool. I like how it gives rest periods. So this is a full plan, but I really like this. Dumbbell goblet squat, floor press or low incline bench press, which I told it I had a bench. So I don't know why I would suggest a floor press, kind of a garbage exercise. But either way, this is a great overall program that's gonna get you great results. So you can plug in to FitBuddy whatever you want, but I would emphasize 2 to 3 days of total body programming per week, especially at first. You don't really need a split, but if you want to do a push-pull split or an upper-lower split, that's totally fine too. It's going to work great. More strength equals better walks. You're going to be able to walk faster. You're literally going to live longer, so that's cool. But you're also going to be able to carry more in your rucksack. So if you're able to carry 50 pounds versus 10 pounds, that 50-pound carrying person is going to scorch body fat. This is the victory for you. This is why, if you're still at this point in this video, let me know in the comments, because I'm so excited for you. If you watch my videos this long, because my videos tend to be a little bit longer, you got what it takes, okay? You can do this. Now that you have your plan, if you have ever quit your plan in the past, that's exactly why I made this video. Please watch it because you're gonna stick with it this time and you're gonna accomplish your goals.